Dude, one of my favorite aspects of this story has been all the gun tubers being like, the official narrative presented by the FBI is so stupid. As soon as I saw some of the claims that were being made by the FBI, I was like, there is no fucking shot that gun tubers, who have massive right-wing audiences, of course, were going to take the official narrative and run along with it. Okay? It just does not make any sense. I'm saying it. Interesting. When did Roseanne get fired? And why did Roseanne get fired? Was it perhaps because the administration at the time was applying pressure from the FCC to fire Roseanne? That would be quite weird if that was the case, considering that it was under Donald Trump. Donald Trump was the president, Joe. Did he fire Roseanne? Did he demand the firing of Roseanne? Or was Roseanne fired because she was saying insane shit? Calling a black woman a monkey and shit. Like, yeah, that's the reason. And the reason why Fox News fired Tucker Carlson was not because of pressure from any administration, but because the owner of Fox News was frustrated with the level of prominence that Tucker Carlson had. And also, he was costing them billions of dollars with the Dominion shit that was going on. So that's probably a big reason when you lose $1 billion fucking dollars because you are knowingly lying about the outcome of a election in an effort not to lose your fan base. Yeah, that's probably going to be a reason. Don Lemon was fired and you never hear libs holding water for him. Exactly. That's crazy, man. What are these guys doing? These are not comparable instances. Oh my Lord, brother. What do you mean? Oh, I don't like the way he set up the joke. It was misinformation. Joe is the last person on the planet to be the guy who dictates the truth. Okay? By design, Mr. Ivermectin, Mr. The only thing I will actually debate and not concede on is vaccine efficacy, should not be the primary, the sole dictator of what gets to be said that is truthful and what's not truthful. Come on, man.
But this person who they're...
Yeah, Mr. Why does it lie when talking about a YouTube title? Mr. We should actually make it illegal to fact check people. Oh my God.
Talking about
who the plant,
this person who they're talking about, whether or not he did it or didn't do it. Well, the FBI is now investigating deeply and further, by the way.
Yeah, we'll find out.
So Kash Patel did say that. Whatever that means.
Yeah, that was
okay. A MAGA.
I like that he just flipped the script on this, by the way. No, the narrative was that he was a radical lefty, and it turned out that might not be the case. By the time that Jimmy Kimmel was talking about it, which was the correct statement that he made, which was that these guys spent the entire weekend claiming he was not in any way, shape, or form connected to their cause or connected to, it was one of theirs. That's what they did. They spent the entire weekend doing that. Whether it turned out that those statements were correct or incorrect doesn't matter to the subject. Anyway, Mr. I think fact checkers should go to prison.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
He set it up in a way that, like, okay, you're saying something that's actually...
Weird details about the Charlie Kirk assassination. This is from one day ago. Already has 3.5 million views. Let's go, fam.
Factually.
Bro, I'm telling you, these guys have bricked their brains. Okay? They have bricked their brains so hard that it is literally impossible for them to correctly analyze a situation, and they are too susceptible to misinformation. This is a major weakness, okay? This is a major weakness for the right. So much so that unironically, it's literally easier to just lie about a situation instantly if you're like a liberal and just be like, nah, this guy was a right-winger. And these guys are more likely to believe that narrative. It already happened. Half of the right decided that this wasn't like sufficiently attacking trans people. So they were like, I'm questioning the official narrative. And then the other half of the right was immediately like, no, Israel did this, Israel did this, Israel did this. And that is part of the reason why. And then liberals were also immediately going, this is a groyper, this is a groyper, this is a groyper. So there was so much misinformation in the immediate aftermath of the shooting that they couldn't even come together on an official narrative that actually helps the purpose of the right here, like to design this as like a Antifa operation that took place, and that's why we have to deal with Antifa. It's so crazy. I never thought I would see the day. The bombing. He did a fake bomb threat to, I think, a Utah marathon. He wasn't at the Boston bombing, but he did a fake Boston bombing style threat.
Thing. Right after, so somehow,
And I don't think he was at 9/11 either.
or another, this guy has
I
the
forget
state
what his
of
connection is to 9/11 though. I think he had some. He wasn't at 9/11, but he had some connection to 9/11. I forget what it was. I think he was like, I don't know what it was, but he said something about 9/11.
mind that the moment
Again, Joe Rogan presents misinformation about a super weird guy who played a super weird role, super suspicious role in this, right? That part is true. But he presents a bunch of misinformation that he just half remembers or misunderstands, and then is confused and scared by his own misinformation that he just presented. Dude, think critically, man. Please. Some of the stuff that he said is true. Like the guy volunteered the information to law enforcement at the hospital that he had child pornography, CSAM, child sexual abuse material, on his phone. The guy did also come out and said, I did it, and I would do it again. And even said, kill me, shoot me, drawing a lot of attention in the immediate aftermath of the shooting. This is strange, okay? And he has some kind of connection to 9/11. I can't remember. And also, he did do a bomb threat for a separate marathon, not the Boston Marathon bombing. Do we know if he had CSAM? Yes, he did. He said he had CSAM on his phone, and then the authorities looked through his phone and found out that, yes, he did have CSAM on his phone. It was crazy. So that guy is mentally unstable, and it's strange that in that moment, he actually offered protective cover to whoever the shooter was. Okay? That's weird enough in and of itself. But it's really funny that Joe adds a bunch of other shit that he misunderstood and then gets scared by it. No, he had a scope on the weapon. Bro, what is going on? There are weird things about the situation, but it is so hard. God damn, dude. There are already enough suspicious circumstances surrounding the incident, but it's so hard to accurately understand what took place when it's Joe Rogan talking about this shit. Oh, he's talking about the Trump shooter. Oh, my bad. I misunderstood. He's talking about the PA shooter. I thought he was talking about the Tyler Robinson again. Oh, my God. I'm sorry. I apologize to Joe Rogan for this dilution. My coworkers listen to this guy, Lamau. You really are the Joe Rogan of the left? Classic. I
sites,
know.
that's a lot harder. Because iron sights is you're lining up. So you have these two things in the back and there's one thing at the front of the barrel. And you got to line.
There's a video going viral saying the whole thing is fake. 5 million views in YouTube in 2 days. Candace Owens is even wondering if there was a trap door underneath them. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. That's awesome. Hell yeah, dude. What are you...
You're supposed to get it in that stupid backpack. It's literally...
Oh, yeah.
It makes no sense.
Dude, one of my favorite aspects of this story has been all the gun tubers being like, the official narrative presented by the FBI is so stupid. Okay? This has been one of my... I told you this already. As soon as I saw some of the claims that were being made by the FBI, I was like, there is no shot that gun tubers, who have massive right-wing audiences, of course, were going to take the official narrative and run along with it. Okay? It just does not make any sense. And these guys love recreating high-profile assassinations. They are going to endlessly discuss this. They are going to try to recreate it and show that it's impossible to recreate over and over again. This is what they do. This is their bread and butter. They're gun sexuals, man. It was so dumb for them to not wait a couple days and reveal accurate information about accurate information about the gun and what took place, because these guys are going to obviously go through it and discuss it.
Eyewitness to 9/11, which is weird, this guy, the old guy. And then he was arrested for threatening to bomb the Salt Lake City Marathon finish line in 2013. This is George Zinn, Z-I-N-N. There's so many different things, and I get it.
Believe me, I'm always the last person to be like, okay, buddy.
That's the odds of that are in the billions.
They said that's like 0.00007% likelihood that this guy was there for 9/11. He was there for Charlie Kirk's murder, and there was a third component. He was there for some.
He was. I think he was arrested for terrorism. Allegedly.
Listen, if there's anybody that doesn't go down the rabbit hole, it's me.
My goats. When the goats talk, you listen. Okay, that's called valuetainment, baby. It's called goat talk. And when the goats are talking, we shut the up and we listen. Okay. Yeah, Candace Owens is running around talking about a trap door potentially. Candace basically saying, do I have evidence Charlie Kirk was killed by a shooter who hid behind a trap door beneath his feet? No, but it's alarming that the federal government hasn't investigated this because that's what happened. She's insane, says Pedro L. Gonzalez.
Pipeline.
Is she insane, or is she the most sane out of all of us? Oh my God. It's hard. It's hard for me when the administration is so desperately attempting to create a profile of the shooter that will allow them to stamp out any sort of leftist opposition. It is so hard for me not to lean into these guys who are very clearly destroying that narrative every single day with their ginormous audience of right-wingers. Okay? Oh, that's hard for me. Hard for me to look at this, give horse, I guess, and say, no, the teeth are perfectly fine. I'm going to look at the gift horse in the mouth and say, no, the teeth, not so great.
Almost exactly behind where Charlie was sitting. Here's that maybe it's a water pipeline. I don't know, but there it is under the flag. And to your right.
My favorite version of this was they were saying that the auditorium, like the outdoor seating that Charlie Kirk was at the center of, looked like the candles that you light during Hanukkah, a menorah. Awesome, dude. Respect to the mentally ill. You know what I mean? Shout out mental illness, dude. Y'all are really cooking with gasoline. Okay.
I went into my tips line and I saw that somebody had messaged me about this. More than one person messaged me about this. They're like, hey, yeah, there's like a whole underground thing there. To your right, you're observing those two little boxes, and they told me that was a trap door. Now, I'm not implying someone, popped up and shot Charlie, but that's a close-up of that area. I'm just implying that there's an entire underground there. And I remember
Hamas tunnel or the same kind of tunnel system that we saw in New York in the Chabad tunnel, like the ones we saw in Brooklyn. I'm just saying. The year of the tunnel continues. Yeah.
When I looked at the footage, I felt like it was coming up. I don't know anything about ballistics. I'm not an expert. But if there was a hatch door nearby, then we can assume, as we should always assume,
this is where Charlie Kirk was sacrificed. Bro, come on, bro. That's crazy. Oh, hell yeah. People have lost their dang minds. There's not really much you can do in this situation. You know what I mean? Okay. All right. Let's keep it going.
Colleges, obviously stadiums, there's always an underground path. So I'm wondering if the federal government has explored the possibility that somebody could have been under Charlie and done that while everyone's looking around and thinking that a shot went off from here, if that was just maybe like decoy number 2 and actually Charlie was shot from beneath him, which then could maybe explain why there was no exit wound. Again, I'm theorizing because I have a right to. I have a right to think.
Yo. She has a right to think. That's true. Hey, more power to Candace Owens. Okay? Listen. More. She has a right to think.
And that is interesting to me. Where does it go?
There was a Twitter response to that photo also saying, I'm a literal Nazi and I think this is bullshit. Yeah.
Where do the tunnels underneath UVU lead to, right? That's an interesting question. Maybe everyone's looking up when we should be looking below.
You can't stop calling her Clandis. I don't know what you're talking about. I never did. This is an issue of utmost importance. Breaking. Candace Owens was able to speak with the man who recorded the alleged footage of Tyler Robinson on the roof before the shooting. His testimony completely contradicts everything we've been told by the FBI. His footage was recorded just 20 seconds before Charlie Kirk's assassination, according to the timestamp. He allegedly saw the shooter holding a smaller firearm and believes Charlie was shot with a lightweight bullet. This witness also provided a description to law enforcement that was never released to the public. He says the assassin was wearing tactical gear, a face mask, and looked like a foreign agent. Wow.
Very much, and maybe this is a poor way of saying it, a straight shooter said, yes, I have training. And I don't want to give too many identifying details here, but this person himself has a lot of experience with guns and knows guns and, helps to train people in that sort of a capacity, and said that they observed that individual, the FBI saying that the shooter dropped onto the roof at 12:15 didn't make sense to him. He said earliest it was 12:22 that the individual ran across.
This was a tactical style individual that was doing a tactical ascertainment in the moment.
Set up, took the shot, and I said, well, you must have been there, because he then sends me I wanted to see all of the metadata of when he took that footage, and the metadata begins at 12:22 and goes into 12:23, the very minute that Charlie gets shot. And he says, yeah, I saw the shot. I had just stopped recording about 20 seconds before the shot rang out. And he said that he told them a description of.
I never saw coming to the whole deep conspiracy nature of the Trump supporters might backfire. Gives hope in a weird way. Yeah, that's why I'm just observing. Not everything needs a reaction. Sometimes it's okay to just admire from afar. Okay? I'm just observing. I'm tactically ascertaining. I'm tactically engaging in the act of observation. You can sit back and observe sometimes. Okay? That's what's going on here.
What the shooter looked like, and it was not the description that the entire world received less than 24 hours later of this person, Tyler Robinson, wearing jeans. I said, was he wearing jeans? He said, no. Actually, this person was dressed in tactical gear and he was wearing a face mask. And he said, according to him, and like I said, he has a lot of experience with guns, that this person looked to him like a foreign agent. I don't know if he's wearing all black, how he got that, but he said there's no.
I believe him. He looked Israeli. Oh, it's awesome. Dude, the amount of mental illness I have seen about the Charlie Kirk stuff on the timeline, where the administration is like so desperately trying to create this perfect narrative about Trantifa, and these guys are like, nope, not even a little bit. There is so much. Nope, that was definitely, he's Mossad. He's Jewish. I know, because he was wearing a kippah. That's right. It's pretty crazy.
He was very certain that this person was skilled, knew exactly what he was doing, and was highly trained, like a highly trained assassin, so to speak. Okay.
Man, being white is so OP. Nazis will invent false flag to get you off charges. Oh, yeah. No, you saw what happened once they found out that he wasn't just any kind of white guy, but he was the type of white guy from like a MAGA loving Mormon family. Everybody literally was like, oh, shit. Oh, God, we got to pray for his soul. We got to pray for his soul, man. Like, we got to pray for his goddamn soul. Okay, you understand me? It's amazing. That's all it took.
He then says something else. As soon as George Zinn got arrested and that started circulating, he ran to someone on campus and said, "This is the wrong person. I observed this person with my eyes. You have the complete wrong description. The person you're looking for is wearing tactical gear and is obviously young because I watched him sprint back after taking the shot. I saw this with my own two eyes. And for whatever reason, that never made its way out that we can see of a description of a person wearing tactical gear. We're kind of left with this idea that he was wearing the now infamous veterans shirt with the American flag on it and some jeans. So he also said something that we had not heard, which is that he knows guns, and the gun that the FBI found was not the gun that he saw, that the gun that he saw was smaller. And I'm going to read you directly a text message that he sent me, again, protecting his identity. He said, "Watching the video of the impact, hearing the sharp crack instead of a big hunting rifle's boom, and seeing what looked like a shorter rifle platform, albeit with the absence of the shape of a standard 30-round magazine, the assassin may have used a 10 or 20-round magazine, only expecting to shoot once or twice. I would guess that he was shot with a Hornady V."
No, I can't watch that, bro. That one has 5 million views. That video is just blood and gore. I'm pretty sure that
Ladies
video
and gentlemen,
straight up shows step by step the like frame by frame. It shows the exact moment where he's like shot and like blood pouring out and all this stuff. So I can't. Oh my lord, he has literally. There's a photo of another random guy who's been shot as well, talking about how it has 5.2 million views in 2 days, though. I kind of want to watch it. Hassan, please look up Explore Talent and how Candace Owens and Erica Kirk were a part of it. Erica also worked for Trump at 17. They opened a Christian ministry in Romania where they had kids going missing, which were mainly orphans. There's a crazy person in here. No, that is another thing that people are talking about. Erica Kirk was Miss Arizona for when Trump owned it. Okay, owned the beauty pageant. That's true. I'm not entirely certain about the Romania connection, but I do know that she did move to Arizona because her parents were working for the Department of Homeland Security. So that part is correct. The Trump connection, I guess, is correct, but I'm not sure about the Romania angle. But her parents were in the DHS. They got a job in Arizona for that reason. And that's why she moved to Arizona. And they did meet for the first time ever. Her and Charlie Kirk actually met in line to take a flight to Israel. That part is also correct. But I'm not so certain about the... Can you watch the Rain Day Bro video? I can't because it has so much gore, man. I don't know what's going on. What was the additional context that made the weird cop speak Discord make sense? Oh, I watched Tyler Robinson talk to the police in a accident, like in a car accident in 2022, and he does unironically talk like that. It's not even a joke. Is safe after 6:30, or if you cover 80% of the vid and only show the dude talking? Okay, you know what? F it. Let's watch it, dude. YOLO. This video has 5.2 million views in 2 days. Okay, another guntuber guy. His name is Range Daybro. I'm not gonna show you the actual incident because he like straight up shows it. I think he shows it like, I don't know exactly when he shows it, like maybe around here. But I guess like he starts showing it like it immediately in like 40 seconds.
Ladies and gentlemen, I now have acquired proof that the FBI's official story is false, whether knowingly or unknowingly. We're going to have an entire monologue and talk about a lot of these things after I show you this. But if you take nothing else away from this video, you need to see this.
And in that video, you can see the same, what appears to be the bullet coming down.
Okay, first start here. Rough start. Big, major proof instantly. Major proof that he has is a TikTok video of someone talking into a toilet microphone.
And it does line up with the actual gunshot itself. So you're not counting gang violence. Great.
So then, this video already got debunked. This guy thinks he sees blood from behind, but it was his earpiece. Yeah, actually, honestly, I don't want to watch this because I'm worried about getting banned. For exposing the truth, that is. I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth watching. But, I mean, a cursory glance here talks about how the bullet trajectory is exactly the opposite direction. And that's his assessment, is that, like, there's a second shooter, and the guy that they got is a patsy. And most of it is actually showing the blood and gore and stuff. At 6:30, he shows a pic of the second shooter here. We'll just show
Ladies and gentlemen.
He believes that there's a second shooter. Okay? He believes that there's a second shooter. And that part starts here.
Charlie Kirk. I want to take a look at this photo next. This guy's talking about this bush up here in the top left of this photo, and he zooms in on it, and he's stating that it does look suspicious. It does look suspicious. It looks like there is a person right here, and it looks like there is a rifle right here that the person is holding. A hand here, support hand, sort of very blurry image, but you can clearly make out that this is not just a bush. This is a human skin tone right here, and this correlates with human head and hair. And
does he actually go back to the shooting at all? No. Okay, from this point on, he doesn't show
a rifle in the exact kind of crucifix shape of an AR-15 with an optic on it mounted up. So good on this dude for finding this photo and looking for, like he said, hours of going through photos and videos until he saw this. This would 100% line up with the actual shot that we've now proven was not taken.
Chatter to the set, please close the fridge. Thank you. How the f did that fridge open? It was open this whole time. What the hell's going on? Mossad! Did Kaya open it? Did Kaya open the fridge? Was there a tunnel underneath? Anyway, let's continue.
From the front was taken from the back side of Charlie. This would line up exactly with that bullet trajectory and the entry and exit wound that we exhibited, that we saw here on camera.
I like that he put the little shooter up there.
So, guys, this is a very heavy topic. I do not want to believe that this is possible, that the FBI either knowingly or unknowingly missed this. And I'll leave that up for you guys to speculate on. I'm not accusing anybody of anything. All I know is that 100% Charlie was not shot from the front. It is very clear that he was shot from the side, most likely by this bush up here, this man in the bush, whatever you want to call him. It has been very clear to me.
That's the big evidence? Oh my God. Let him cook. 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 Yep. Let them. Found Kaya opening it. Wait, for real? Are you blaming Kaya? Oh. Oh my gosh, she did open it. Oh my God. Oh my God. The mad lad. Look. Do you see? Look right here. Look right here. Oh my God. What the heliante, dude? What the hell? Look. Look. This bitch. Look. She just cracks it right open. I can't believe it. Look at her sleeping after getting up to some mischief. Sleeping comfortably. Probably dreaming and scheming about what kind of mischief she'll get up to next. Kai is being framed by the admin. AI is wild. Okay, calm down, everybody. This ain't no dang AI, okay? And that's incredible moment to end that piece.
Erica and
Megyn Kelly reveals Erica Kirk was shaken about the Jezebel. Oh my God. Ain't no way, big dog. Are we for real right now? This is another narrative, a third shooter. This time it's witch talk. Oh my God. Jezebel, the famous feminist blog, wrote an article a couple weeks prior to Charlie Kirk being shot and killed about how they went to Etsy and got a bunch of witches to do a curse on Charlie Kirk. Or was it, 2 days prior? Sorry, not even, ooh, goddamn, that's even scarier. Not even a couple weeks prior, 2 days prior. And we are officially now reaching a new level of insanity where we believe witches and curses are actually real. This was the product of a curse. What is this? Did y'all know Erica Kirk is banned from Romania because of her evangelical group is accused of trafficking children out of Romanian villages? Birds of a feather, I suppose. Have any of the 16,000 users retweeting this or 129,000 liking this post, which claims Erica Kirk is banned from Romania over child trafficking allegations, bothered to check whether it has any basis in truth? Because I have, and it doesn't. It's totally made up. Yeah. The part that is not made up is that they actually met on a trip to Israel. The part that is not made up is that Erica's parents got a job at the DHS, Department of Homeland Security, which is why she moved to Arizona, as I told you. And the part that's not made up is that she was also Miss Arizona for the property that Trump owned, the beauty pageant that Trump owned. This was the article for the curse 2 days before the shooting. Hey, FBI, does hiring witches to curse Charlie Kirk before his assassination make one accessory to murder? Are you for real? The article was revealed 2 days prior, but I believe they hired the witches like a couple of weeks prior to the article's full publishing. Okay? But because we have become even more insane in every direction, okay? Insanity, much like violence and much like gun violence, is a bipartisan thing here, okay? Being susceptible to misinformation is bipartisan. Insanity is also bipartisan, and that's why there are so many different conspiracy theories flying around, but this one has to be the best one, honestly. The idea that like witches are capable of killing people with curses is so medieval age coded. Like I used to joke about how like we're becoming medieval peasants. Like we have the brain of a medieval peasant, but this is unironically medieval peasant shit.
Charlie Kirk heard about these curses.
We're gonna have to unfollow. Can't jeopardize the coven. Okay, I'm sorry. To witch talk, I know there's hella Wiccans in this chat. I know you have cast protective spells over me, and I love you for it. Keep up the good work, please. Okay, keep up the good work, and don't listen. If this might trigger warning to the Wiccans in my fan base. This might come across as I'm making fun of the mysterious ways in which you make the world turn. Okay,
and that news genuinely rattled Erica in particular. She knew Christian teaching on this subject. She loved Charlie, absolutely. And she was scared when she heard of the curses Jezebel had called up. So much so that she and Charlie contacted a friend who I believe she said was a Catholic priest, but definitely a friend, and asked him to come over and pray with them over Charlie the night before he was murdered. She eventually worked it through, and so did Charlie. That, as she later told me, weapons will form but not prosper. That Satan and those witches have no power.
Doesn't this mean that witchcraft is real? Like, you have to believe it, right? Like, this kind of is a point for the witches, no? Like, kind of an L for prayer. Like, no disrespect to anybody involved, but like, doesn't if you're bringing this up sincerely, aren't you kind of saying that like witchcraft trumps the Bible?
She was waiting impatiently.
And Christian prayer? Like, isn't this the admission here?
Before results. The witch, they reveal, promised on August 23rd that, quote, you will see the first results within 2 to 3 weeks. This was 18 days before Charlie was killed. Not satisfied with this curse, the amped up one alone, Jezebel reached out to a, quote, third witch.
Like, you can't be serious, right? Like, you can't be like a whole ass adult in 2025 and unironically doing a whole 7-minute monologue on witchcraft, right? That's not where we're at as a society, right? I mean, there's so much scientific discovery that has taken place since the last time people genuinely believed this stuff. I mean, how can I look at this as anything but hysteria? This is like believing in Star Wars, you know? Like that people can do Jedi mind tricks and shit. What the what? I'm always left with two different minds on stuff like this. Like, is Megyn Kelly this insane? Or is she such a cynical grifter that she's like leaning into all these different narratives in an effort to farm clicks off of the straight up broad daylight execution of a person that she knew personally? Like, what the is going on, man? She's just a grifter, dude. No one is that dumb. Dude, there is a deep crisis of consciousness, collective consciousness in the hearts and minds of many evangelicals, I feel like.
Priestess Lilin. Jezebel opined, if enough people cursed a single person, would the results be stronger? Quote,
like, this is an article that is meant to be in jest. Like, obviously, they're not writing this with sincerity, okay? Many such articles have been written about Donald Trump, for example. Like, this is not new. This is not a new meta at all.
When I asked her if she'd noticed more political figures being targeted these days, she said yes. The next day, Lilin sent the Jezebel writer proof of the hex she had cast. Quote, a photograph in flames, the edges slowly curling inward, engulfing Charlie's ridiculous, scrunched up little face. She whispered, I imagine, writes the Jezebel reporter, trust the unseen. Chills, writes Jezebel.
Like, do I get arrested for not taking this seriously now? Is that like the next meta? The Trump administration is going to put you in jail if you think witchcraft related articles are not serious. Like, is that where we're headed towards as a society? Is this the good direction? What the are we going to start stoning women? Are we going to bind them with massive stones to see if they float, and if they die, then, you know, I guess. But if they float, then they're a witch. Like that type of shit. The Salem witch trials, burning women at the stake.
Sunday, August 24th passed, writes the author, and nothing. Monday, August 25th, still nothing. Tuesday, August 26th, nothing. But then she writes, she reminded herself, this is witchcraft, not Amazon. The forces operate on their own schedule. The Jezebel writer ends the piece as follows. So, did my Etsy curses work? Time will tell. The forces move in mysterious ways. And as the priestess Lilin reminded me, spell work is a collaboration between the caster, the client, and the universe itself. For now, we can only trust in the timing of the great unknown. To you, Mr. Kirk, may the rash come swiftly. 2.5 weeks after those curses were requested and cast, 2 days after Jezebel published that article, Charlie was killed by an assassin's bullet. I know what you're thinking. This is a bullshit Etsy curse. Why are we spending time on this? I'm going to get to that in a minute. Stay with me for now. After the shooting, Jezebel took down the article, quote, on the recommendation of our lawyers. They underscored that the piece was meant to be humorous, intended as satire, and that they made clear they wished Charlie, quote, no physical harm, which is not the full story now, is it? At the same time, they said of the article, quote, we stand by every word, which means they did want him cursed. They wanted everyone to hate him. They wanted it to be powerful, and they wanted Charlie, quote, punished for years of regressive rhetoric. They also made clear that taking down the article was, quote, driven by an abundance of caution for our staff.
You see Megyn Kelly's brand of medieval peasant brain across the right influencer world. Tucker Carlson was sleeping in a bed with all his dogs and woke up to find some scratches on his body. His conclusion, he had been assaulted by demons. People used to believe the internet would usher in a golden age of reason, but instead it's ushered in a golden age of medieval peasant brain. Yeah, no, we are fully in the throes of medieval peasant brain. Like, this is the most medieval peasant brain we've ever been in modern time. Oh my God. This is so nutty, dude. Oh, please, if you read the article, the effects of the curse were like, make his head slightly larger every day and shit like that. I don't need to read the article to know that the Jezebel franchise did not actually successfully put a evil hex on a prominent political commentator, okay? It's the Jezebel. It's like getting scared of an Onion article, okay? What the hell? Like, yeah, it's a satirical feminist blog. What are we doing, you know? Prove they didn't, libtard? I can't do it. I can't prove it. And I am scared of the witches. Please don't curse me. Downplaying women's achievements, shaking my head.
In other words, they were worried about violence against them by Charlie Kirk supporters. They also, they wrote, wished, quote, to avoid the piece being misused in a tense and volatile environment. There was not, they made clear, any change in their editorial judgment. In fact, they emphasized, quote, we may republish at a later.
Why do you always shut down ideas you don't understand? That's bait, right? I don't know. Ethantium. Like, understand what? Witchcraft? Like, you unironically are like, why don't you understand witchcraft? Like, you're saying Etsy witches killed Charlie Kirk. Like, straight up. You are saying right now to me, in all sincerity, this is not rage bait. You have one option to pull out right now. I'm giving you the exit ramp. Are you in all sincerity telling me that Charlie Kirk was assassinated because of witchcraft? It's not letting me send my messages. I was joking. I'm sorry. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Date. They then rambled on about the country's gun problem and the heated political divide in the country and free speech, noting they do not actually condone political violence. Now, again, you may be saying to yourself, why are we talking about Etsy curses?
The reason why they are saying that is because there's insane people like yourself. Obviously, if they condoned political violence, they would be writing an article about how they hired an assassin to kill Charlie Kirk rather than hired a bunch of Etsy witches to hex Charlie Kirk. Obviously, they don't condone political violence. The article itself is supposed to be in jest.
This is real. Well, two things. First of all, Christians are opposed to casting spells or trying to contact.
Yo, come on, man. Oh, no.
Now, again, you may be saying to yourself, why are we talking about Etsy curses? None of this is real. Well, two things. First of all, Christians are opposed to casting spells or trying to contact the spirit world. Not only because they believe there's only one God, but because they acknowledge the existence of the devil and evil spirits. Here is Father Mike Schmidt. He was on the day Charlie died, helping us through that as well. But he came on our show first time a couple of years ago, and here he is discussing this very subject.
The motivation behind the Ouija board is actually something where I'm trying to contact spirits.
What is going on the right, man? I thought I watched enough right-wing commentary to kind of get a good grasp of the insanity over there. It turns out the well is so much deeper. Here we have a pastor sincerely talking about Ouija boards. You must not try to make contact with the spirit world, I say, from my position of authority. What the
and someone could say, well, I'm trying to contact nice spirits or good spirits. And the unfortunate thing we know about is that, yes, when God created angels, he created angels. They're good. They're beautiful. They're in harmony with him. But also we know that a number of those said no to God. A person who's reasonable would say, but I'm just playing. And I would say, I completely understand that. And then I would say, at the same time, you remember the movie The Exorcist?
Of course.
Yeah. How can you forget it? So that story is
that's a movie
based off of two true stories.
No, that's a movie, dog. That's a movie. That's not real. That's a movie, man.
And one of the true stories is, I believe, about, if I can get the details right, is about a young man who was at, kind of like a birthday party, some kind of celebration of some sort with kids. And they just busted out the Ouija board and just played for fun. But that was an entry point for what ultimately became a possession.
Yo, this is the type of shit they're getting up to over there. Yeah, no wonder. Bro, you can convince these people of anything. I'm not even kidding. No wonder they're so susceptible to misinformation and false framing. You could convince them of anything, bro. You can make him think movies are real. Is this okay? Are we all right? I don't think we're going to make it, guys. I'm not even kidding. This is scary shit. There are how many people believe this kind of stuff? What the
In other words, you're playing with fire, messing with this stuff. There actually are demons in this world. Calling up the spirit world.
You're disrespecting the believers in your community, bro. As a Muslim, we believe into witchcraft, not the magician of Oz ones. But come on, the fact that we know a lot of our era doesn't mean we know or can explain everything. So we need to remain humble. Doesn't mean to believe any freaky statement, but just like, okay, I can't prove it's unrelated, but I'm okay you believe that. No. There's a limit to that. This is my limit. You've arrived at my limit. Okay. I've never shit on someone for believing in God or, holding on to their faith in the spiritual journey, all this stuff. Okay. But there is a limit to it. Once you get into the realm of demons and spirits and like a guy touched a Ouija board one time and the devil came, that's insane. That's an insane claim, man. What about jinns? Yeah, bro. I was afraid of jinns when I was a baby, okay? When I was a child. When I was a kid, when I was a little kid, okay? That's when I was afraid of jinns. I'm 34 years old, man. What is happening? You live in a boring reality? You used to be more chill about this? Oh, I dare you to say Candyman 3 times in the bathroom. Oh, I can't tell if this is rage bait or if it's people trying to bring back whimsy into their lives or something, or where we're at. I thought the right wings were cooked, but seems like a lot of us are too. Dude, this is straightforwardly like peasant brain shit. Guys, we have phone cameras everywhere, man. We have cameras everywhere. It's like 24/7 surveillance. What are we talking about? What the hell's going on? Like, I have no issue with people who are just like, yeah, I believe in God. I believe in heaven and hell. I believe in this religion, that religion, whatever. But like, there is a degree that I think science has been able to unearth certain truths about the planet. And I feel like when you move into the direction of like witches doing hexes and stuff, it just, you know, it kind of strikes me as believing in Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny. Is what the
in particular the devil's spirit world, can actually have real world consequences. It's not something to mess with. Many Christians believe this. This is dangerous. It's not a game. It's literally evil. Second, this is what I really want.
Bro, she's just straight up mad about witchcraft. Like she's saying it's a dangerous thing to play with. What the She's sincerely addressing the witches. She's offering blistering critique at the witches who did this. Like a person who unironically believes this shit. At first I thought it was cynical, but now I'm beginning to think like she straight up believes this.
All and the people at Jezebel and Etsy to know. Erica and Charlie Kirk heard about these curses, and that news genuinely rattled Erica in particular. She knew Christian teaching on the subject. She loved Charlie, absolutely. And she was scared when she heard of the curses Jezebel had called up. So much so that she and Charlie contacted a friend who I believe she said was a Catholic priest, but definitely a friend, and asked him to come.
Wait, Catholic priest? Whoa. Hold on now. That's devil speak. Ain't no way they called a Catholic priest. I thought Charlie was not an unfaithful Jedediah. He was a man who was an evangelical Protestant. The you mean they called a god dang Catholic priest? Excuse me. Don't Protestants believe Catholics are also like they're going to hell, right? I thought Erica was initially Catholic and then became evangelical. Now I'm suspecting that there was devil worship happening in this home. Is she still Catholic? What's happening? What the hell? Goddamn papist! Catholics do the exorcisms. Lots of Christians believe in this shit. For my Catholic relatives, the evangelicals I grew up around Kentucky is crazy, dude. No, Charlie's not Catholic. Charlie's Protestant. No. This is a huge schism. Not to use that word here, but this is a big issue. Charlie Kirk is not Catholic. No, he's an evangelical Protestant. What? Angelus. Charlie Kirk, to a California bishop. I'm this close to becoming Catholic. What? To this day, I experience a special kind of joy when I learn someone decided to become Catholic, whether they be a celebrity or someone I know personally. Why is this just talking about John Wayne, man? I will never know if my dad would have thought of the late Charlie Kirk in the same way he thought about John Wayne, but I'm sure he would have taken notice of certain tells. Charlie Kirk was tipping that he just might have crossed the Tiber one day. Now we will never know, but I know of two distinctive events that took place prior to his murder. One was a recent video Kirk made suggesting to his Protestant co-religionists that they did not give the Blessed Mother her due. It was a video that could have been shown in a Catholic school religion class. He even suggested her example was a Christian temple applicable across other denominations. Blaspheme! Blasphemy! Instead of Mossad doing it for leaving Israel, it was Kenneth Copeland for leaving evangelicalism. Candace says, Charlie praying to the rosary? Wait, what?
No, I think Charlie was definitely on the brink of changing some of his perspectives. And I can tell you factually, Charlie was praying the rosary. Charlie was going to Mass. One of my last conversations with Charlie was me joking with him saying, just make the last step, okay? You are, I said specifically, you're too smart to be a Protestant. Just take the last step, Charlie. He says, ha. Speaking about Mary. And typically when those steps start taking place.
We saw this last week, but I didn't understand the significance until I saw another article talking about Charlie Kirk potentially taking the next step towards Catholicism, which is unacceptable. He was this close to losing the divine grace of God. What the hell? Isn't this a thing that people get mad about? Like the whole rift between evangelicals, Protestants, and Catholics specifically? Like American evangelical Christians unironically think Catholics are devil worshipers, like straight up. What if this was the shooter's motive? We worship the saints, which is blasphemous. Blasphemer! You don't even decide, so who cares? You do what your parents say, which is why switching is wild. My Baptist great uncle won't go to his daughter's wedding because she's marrying a Catholic, lol. All of my religious traumas finally has meaning. There is this weird right-wing embrace of Catholicism because they feel it hates gays and women more than Protestant Christianity. Same reason for right-winger conversions to Islam. I don't get it because like most normal Catholics that I know spend most of their lives shedding the Catholic teachings that they've experienced. And it's almost like that Catholic conversion is like for the specifically for the zealotry of a convert, where they just straight up, like, have they met normal Catholics? Converts are always freaks. Oh no, always. Cradle Catholic does not equal converted Catholic. Catholicism teaches you to hate yourself and God hates you. It's probably the least fun religion, Lamau. Always wild when people switch. I mean, there's some really cool, really metal parts about Catholicism, but I don't think that's the reason why people switch. You can't convert to Catholicism. You have to go through a life of shame and pain first. Sorry. As somebody from Alabama, people just see Catholics as Christian plus. If you switch, it's a big deal, but you're still going to heaven. This is him saying why he's not Catholic.
I have three major theological disagreements with Catholicism. It's not a mystery. I talk about it publicly. The first of which would be the infallibility of the Pope and the whole process and the idea of the Vatican. The second of which...
Oh, because the Pope was woke. That's what it is. Because if the Pope was more reactionary, he probably wouldn't mind the infallibility of the Pope. You know what I mean? Because the Pope is like... what? Like accurately conveying the statements of God, right? So when you got like a woke Pope, a lot of Catholic converts hated the woke Pope for some reason. And it's like, bitch, you just started. How do you shit on the Pope? It's like the one thing that you can't do. Anyway, let's keep going.
Is Mariology, and the third of which is just less important, but it's transubstantiation. I do not hold that.
Being a Catholic is the one true religion that dates back to Jesus. Sorry, never understood what Catholics get hate for loving Mary. We should treat all mothers that way. He sounds pliable. If he would have been in here a few years ago, you could have got him to take the Shahada with the rest of us. Yeah, Islam is the true light. He would have reverted. Mashallah. Who could say he didn't in his last moment? You know what I mean? Convert to Catholicism. We got cool feasts. Please tell me you saw this amazing shit. Oh, yeah, I did. Brace sent it to me. I think he literally, as soon as he caught wind of it, he sent it to me. Honored to join the Sephardic Lebanese congregation today and welcoming the start of the High Holy Days. Wishing you and your loved ones a happy, healthy, and meaningful Rosh Hashanah. My goat, dude. He is so sick. He's such a G. He is so swagged out. That is drip, dude. I feel like you could wear this to on other occasions as well. You will never have sauce like this. Never. This tweet basically sums like Catholics. Yeah, I've read this before. Every lifelong Catholic I've ever met is like, I think we're supposed to give this food to poor people. And every adult convert is like, the Archon of Constantinople's epistle on the Pentecostine rites of the Eucharist clearly states women shouldn't have driver's licenses. This account is one of the most annoying centrist liberals and hates me, but this was an absolute banger. One of the most annoying liberals on the platform. Like, just such a shameless little libtard in general. But sometimes, you know, when they bang, they bang. Anyway, that is, I can't believe we took these many different sidesteps from one singular Megyn Kelly video about witchcraft. Remember, we were talking about witchcraft and how witches were responsible for Charlie Kirk's assassination, which is now the third conspiracy that has hit the towers. And it's awesome. Congratulations to the Christians. But in this process, while she was describing this, Megyn Kelly accidentally revealed that Charlie Kirk and Erica Kirk called in a Catholic priest, which led me to go down this rabbit hole about Charlie Kirk being on the verge of converting to Catholicism. And a lot of people were like, no, you don't understand. Charlie's Catholic. He's not. I was right. He was an evangelical Protestant Christian. Okay. How dare you? This is heresy. I believe his wife was Catholic, however, and I thought that his wife had actually also converted to evangelical Protestant Christianity. But it may have been that she just kept a lot of the Catholic elements in her belief.
Come over and pray with them over Charlie the night before he was murdered. She eventually worked it through, and so did Charlie. That, as she later told me, weapons will form but not prosper. That Satan and those witches have no power. Of course, God's will is the one that matters, and his blessing over Charlie was real and palpable. All you had to do was spend time with Charlie to know that. But why torture a family like this? A Christian, believing family. Why do this vile thing to a young couple, parents to two babies, living in accordance with the gospel, deeply in love, yes, political, but doing nothing other than speaking publicly about their views and their desires to make other people's lives better? Who would do such a vile thing? Jezebel, that's who.
I can't believe she made a 7-minute and 33-second video about a feminist blog jokingly hiring Etsy witches to put a curse on Charlie Kirk, and she made it seem like this was somehow responsible. That's crazy. Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. We done did it now. Wait, they're trying to get the witches off Etsy now? Let's cancel evil. Thanks for the reporting, Megyn Kelly. Etsy, please check your inbox. Jezebel, your publication is trash. Press at Etsy.com. Jezebel's cursing of Charlie Kirk. Megyn Kelly reported today that Jezebel writers use Etsy to have witchcast curses upon Charlie Kirk's family. Whether you believe in curses in the spirit world or not, you as a company must agree that malicious activity like that is a gross misuse of your services. I don't blame Etsy, but I do expect Etsy to review and admonish accounts that offer such witchcraft services. Etsy should be a marketplace for what is good, beautiful, and true. Don't let your services be used by those who wish anybody from any political side harm. Tim Anderson, pastor. Boycott Etsy until they fire all involved. At Etsy, this is unacceptable. At Etsy, what your company is doing with witches, curses is absurd. You deserve a boycott with the bullshit with Jezebel spells, rhetoric over Charlie, and faith. You are mocking Christians. I hope the liberals can keep you going. What you choose to do to Erica Kirk and family is wrong. Amen. I like at Etsy, but in good conscience cannot support a company that allows garbage like this on their site. This is too stupid to parody. Do they not realize how many Mormon moms with cry cuts have Etsy shops? Are you starting to understand American atheism? I'm just confused because, like, maybe I was sheltered living in big cities when I was growing up in Turkey, but I unironically feel like, weirdly enough, Muslims were more chill about, like, insane shit like this. I'm not even kidding. Horrifying. This Etsy witch is offering a horde of 5,000 demons, most powerful revenge spell, curse, demon, magic, dark spell, vampire spell, psychic reading. It's time for witch trials for Charlie. Only hard for me spell. My God, these people are sick. Nah, evil eye is pretty real in the Muslim communities. Brother, I have evil eyes as well, okay? Nazar, or like a modest belief that people might wish ill upon you, so you have like a safeguard, is nothing in comparison to like losing your mind over witchcraft like this. And I'm not even saying that it's like not a thing. I'm not even saying that people don't behave that way in Turkey. I'm openly and readily admitting that maybe I'm oblivious to it. Oh, the thing I can kurşun döktürme. Oh my God. You just unlocked a formative memory. Oh my God. Lead. Oh my God. Oh my God, I totally had forgotten about this. My parents, when I was growing up, there's this ritual where they will melt lead over the head of whoever they want to literally take away all the bad juju from. And I hated that process. You just unlocked childhood trauma that I had just that compartmentalized in my brain. Oh my God. I'm Assyrian. We call it rusus. They melt lead over your head. Like an old, scary, demon-looking lady comes to your house and they put like a veil over you, like sheets over your head. And then they take lead and they melt it. And then they switch it from like one container to the other over your head. And it's supposed to protect you. Yes. Mylodomancy is a technique of divination using molten metal. Typically, molten lead or tin is dropped into water. It can be found as a tradition in various cultures, including Austria, Bosnia, Turkey, Czech Republic, Germany, Finland, Estonia, Latvia, Switzerland. Some versions have been found to have potentially harmful effects on human health. Lead, or more recently tin, shapes are melted into a ladle over a flame, and the molten liquid is then poured into the water. The resulting shape is either directly interpreted as an omen for the future or is rotated in a candlelight to create shadows, whose shapes are then interpreted. The shapes are interpreted symbolically, for example, a bubbly surface signifying money, a fragile or broken shape, misfortune. The shape of the lead before melting can refer to a specific area of one's life. I don't think this is a Muslim thing. I think this is more so like a Turkish thing, potentially. I hated that shit. What? Elon Musk is no longer following Charlie Kirk. Oh my God. Mystical Turkish lead melting ritual.
This
yes.
woman was invited to my aunt's house to perform the Turkish version of lead pouring. This is a pagan ritual where molten lead or tin is dropped into cold water over a person's head. The ritual often begins with a prayer from the Quran and several maneuvers to open our energy for biohealing. After this stage, we were not allowed to cross our arms or legs because that would impair the flow of energy.
Your PhD having parents did that to you? Yes, bro. They're nutty. People can be nutty, even if they're brilliant, even if they're very well read. That's what I'm saying. Do you not understand? Are you telling us you're a full metal political commentator? What part of you is metal?
After this, she burned sage and put a coin in the bowl full of cold water. A piece of garlic was also involved, but I don't really remember what that symbolized. Now time to melt the lead while Lorenzo panics about lead poisoning. When it's liquid, we put a blanket over low and prepare to dump the molten
they put a
metal
blanket
into
over your
cold
head.
water and interpret the shapes when it cools. Straight lead.
In a nice ladle.
Yeah.
To be honest, you missed 1/3 of the American populace fearing its children were becoming demonic when Harry Potter arrived. To be honest, I think you just overcorrected when you left r/atheism spaces. Ask Caroline about it. I'm not even exaggerating. I've heard this before, yes.
And then the lead's going to go in the cold water, and she's going to read the shape.
Yeah, sure. This is done to provide insights into the future and absorb the dark energies of that person.
Yeah, no, that scared the out of me when I was a kid, bro. Straight up.
Don't be scared.
That was very close. It felt very close.
Wantep sana da yaptılar mı lan? Amerika'da bile yaptılar ha? Wantep, did you do this? Did your parents do this shit to you too? Yok, babaannemin evinde görmüştüm ama. Oh, he says it happened in his grandmother's home. Bro, this shit was so scary. Oh my God. You don't understand when you're a kid. You don't understand when you're a kid and you're under the covers like that, and then like you're just hearing the lead drop into cold water. That shit is terrifying. I hated this shit. I hated it so much I forgot about it until that one chatter brought it up. That's crazy. You just unlocked memories, ancient memories in my brain. That's wild. Anyway, what a crazy time to be alive, man. Hasan Reaction is one of the best ones in the React channel.